Alright, Red Faction, how's it going? So, today's going to be a little bit of a different video. We've done one of these before. We were talking about how we could, like, change Gambit, or, there was one point I did, like, the state of games, how games are just kind of going really down the shit end of the entire community. This one is just going to be talking specifically about things in Destiny. Um, how the season is, it's like a seasonal recap bullshit. From all the game modes, because we've played almost every game mode. Um, we've done the patrols because they made you do patrols in order to get red border weapons in on Neptune. And honestly, I don't feel that um like it was rewarding enough to do it, because you needed to do specifically a heroic one, and you basically have to relaunch the Terminus Overload, go around the entire map to find one, do it for the possibility of a red border, and think, okay, there's a strand sniper rifle, there's the imperative loop, there's the Braxis whatever, there's the LMG, and then there's the pulse rifle. That's 5 guns that you have to get 5 red borders for, and you only get a red border, a random one at that, one out of like every what, 6 heroic patrols, maybe, if you're lucky. And oh well, you get and the round robin. So there's 6 weapons. That's 30 red borders you have to get. And if you do that, like, well, if you do the probably the most viable thing is to do it in every character, and they already give you red borders at the start, so it's like you have to do that many. It's still a lot to go to an area that, let's be honest, there's not a lot of like decent heroic patrols. There's no interesting ones. There's clear this area of enemies. There's get kills with strand abilities. There's get kills with precision. You don't see a lot of like survey ones that have you go to areas where you have to use strand to get to these spots, especially after everything. Like a scouting mission, that would be cool. No, just go to this area and clear out enemies and fuck off. Basically, what it is. Um, I think heroic patrols, if they're going to give you something, it should be a red border, and it should be a red border that you don't already have one for. Like, try to give people more red borders, because people are like, oh my god, look at this crafted imperative loop that I have. And everyone has to go to the patrols, grab one to get it, because, well, it looks good in the state of PvP, so there we go. And that's the thing. PvP weapons haven't been that good. The only good one was the stupid freaking I'm an auto rifle with a better reload speed than an auto rifle, aka the Immortal, which you gave us the first week of trials, and now you're giving it the last week of trials. The best part about like the first week was until people like actually got it, which you didn't have to worry about until after you went flawless, which was the only time this entire season that we have gone flawless. I have played trials nearly every freaking Sunday, and I've had next to no luck getting. I've gotten close. I've gotten to like 4, or like sometimes maybe 5, and then like I get put with the sweat lords, and I get the people that I normally in my skill range. Well, trials is about the best of the best and everything. I'm like, That's fine. But if you're gonna match me against the best, should you also give me some of the best? Not the give me the sweats on the enemy team, and then give me the I'm just here for the legendary shards and to fulfill my guardian games bounty. I don't think that should be a thing. And when we're talking about the state of PvP and trials, the map selection is not that good. It's because the PvP maps aren't really that good. I mean, this last week was Cauldron. Everyone just fought in that one little mini area. You wanna know why everyone found that one little mini area? Because dumbasses decided to put the frickin' objective thing on that bridge. That bridge? Once you took over that spot and you had it locked down, there was no way. There's no way. And here's the thing. Solar Warlocks running well in PvP has been the main thing I've seen people do. You see the occasional, like, Strand or Arc or Stasis when they're throwing the fucking Bleak Watcher grenades out. But other than that, what's... Yeah. Strand, Stasis, Arc, Void were the 4 other things that you could use as a Warlock in PvP. And what have people been using? Because of one armor piece that they're actually nerfing a little bit. They're using Starfire. And you know, a lot of people think, oh, well, now that Starfire is being nerfed in PvE, we can use other stuff. No, you're still going to be put on well. Because there's Lunas. There's Boots of Assembler. Hell, if you're doing Farad clear, you got freaking a chance to get half your super back with Phoenix Protocol. Or let's say, go use Mantle of Battle Harmony. Get some solar damage increase. Because you're just a well. See, that's the thing. You know, until you have it, just, you know, use Mantle and get some damage boost until you get, until we need the well. And then pop the well. And then work to get it back. So yeah, no, Warlocks, we're still going to be put on well duty because of all the other things. Starfire was just there for, you know, well, throw nades and do great damage. Now it's going to be, well, now use Luna so we can reload faster. See, that's the problem. Is you made well so good, but you also nerfed Bubble. But what are you doing to well? I mean, heck, you took Geomegs away. You made Phoenix Protocol less of something for people to use, so people were like, oh, Starfire. Because you did those solar changes. And see, now almost a year later, a year after you did the Season of the Haunted change, here we are again. Now we're going to figure out what the new Solar Warlock meta is going to be, and it's probably going to be Lunafactions or Boots of the Assembler. Why? Well, why not? I mean, realistically, it's the thing that makes most sense. Hunters? Do whatever the hell you want. Titans? Well, hide behind your shield and hope a Warlock is there to throw a healing nade or a rift at you. Because honestly, you have been screwed. You really have been. Titans have been getting the short end of the stick for a while. And I say that in more of the here's this character that at one point was one of the best classes to really use in a lot of things, and they've been gutted to the point where they're either there for lordly splendor to heal themselves, that gets nerfed because it made certain things too easy, so nerf it. Um, and yeah, it was kind of annoying dealing with lordly splendor, but you could kind of find ways around it if you had the capabilities of doing it at the time. My best recourse to that was just throw a knuckle bomb at them. And also the state of PvP is just it always reverts back to the same um, build style. You know, we had pulse rifles, and then you run a shotgun or a sniper, or some people ran a grenade launcher because they're weird. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. But you grenade launcher users in PvP, kind of weird me out. Like the Wither Horde users, I understand why you do it. I hate you, but yeah, I understand why you do it. But the other ones, if it's not a heavy, why are you using it? But it always reverts back to the same two weapons that get used in PvP. And I don't mean like specifically the two weapons. I mean the type of weapons. In almost every PvP match you see during a season, there comes a point where everyone reverts back to hand cannons and shotguns. You wanna know why? Because they're like, well, I'm tired of seeing X gun be good, so I'm gonna go back to running what I like. When pulse rifles were really good, it was great. Pulse rifles were good. You could use a shotgun. You could use a sniper. You could use Forerunner. If you were a dick, you could use Witherhorde. If you were a real asshole, you use an Arbalist or a Lawrence Driver, or you use a fusion rifle. But people got so annoyed with that, and were calling for changes to pulse rifles so they could use their hand cannons and shotguns again. Now the sad part is this leads to more stagnant games. This leads to you got a gun that you really want to like and try out. Well, no. Here's why. And I think it was a week after the Immortal had came out. They gave us the Glassway Strike, and it was they gave you the Buzzard, and I got a really good Buzzard. I wasn't able to get the Adept version. I'm gonna try again next season when it's around. But the Buzzard's a really good dueling sidearm. It's one of the best dueling sidearms next to the Drang. If you want to use an energy weapon, like an energy pulse, an energy auto rifle, an energy shotgun, an energy sniper, you want to be a weirdo and use Lawrence Driver, go ahead. But it's one of the best dueling sidearms when you get things like Arrowhead Break. You get an accurized rounds, or you get a flared magwell. You get perpetual motion or encore. You get rangefinder or swashbuckler or whatever other perk in the other slot. You get some range, or you get some stability. You're perfect. You're set. You're great. It's a great dueling sidearm. Heck, even scout rifles have been good lately. Do you know what hasn't been good lately? Auto rifles. You know why auto rifles can't get good? Because the last time auto rifles were good, we had frickin' uh play ge- play frickin' geometry in trials when hardlight could just go. And let's be honest, a lot of the auto rifles lately, they've been good. Yeah, sure, they've been good. But when you use them, you have a lower time to kill if you're not hitting no headshots. And let's be fair, this game's flinch is kind of what the hell. Now I know, oh, Kyrie's talking about flinch again. Well, flinch in this game, honestly, has been one of the worst things. Because it will never make sense. It's too inconsistent. There are too many guns that, oh, well, this should flinch, but it doesn't. You hit someone with an aggressive or impulse rifle, you think you should flinch them more, even though they're using like a scout, but you're still hitting them. Well, he can kind of just go. Well, you go. It really, to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Sorry, I'm looking over here a lot. I kind of do that because I have something else on my main monitor and the recording's over here. It's right there. But yeah, that's the weird thing about how PvP is guns that haven't been good in a while don't get a time to shine because other guns come in and it's the only thing anyone ever uses. I mean, hey, look. Here's the buzzard. I have Immortal. I'm good. I don't need it. Not at all. Bungie, I don't want it. Okay? You let someone else have that. I'll stick with the target lock, rangefinder role that I have, that I got the first week of Trials. And you gave us a great map for it. But after that, no. I'm only using this. And I'm going to run Cloud Strike. Because here's the thing. When people brought out Cloud Strike, it had a weird time where everyone was using it. You see a sniper, oh, well, it's probably a Cloud Strike, so don't get shot. And then you'd have that one guy that goes, I can deal with them, guarding down. Like, and I'm not saying that snipers are in a bad spot, because you can clearly get some nice snipes, but you have to literally be like ready for anything to happen. Like shotgunners, they can be ready because all they gotta do is switch. Fusions, grenade launchers. Oh, I missed. Mortal. Like, could you imagine if Immortal worked with frickin' what's that exotic? Not Armatarium. What's that exotic that Titans have for auto rifles? That would not be fun. Acting War Rig. Could you imagine that working together? No, Bungie, no. Don't ever do that. That'd be scary. Could you imagine that? Like, there's already like people that do sweet business, and it's just like, it's like the heavy from TF2, where it's just like, or that one guy from Halo, from Reach. But imagining frickin' Immortal working with that? No. Mm-mm. That would be annoying. I will say this though. The matchmaking systems that they've been trying to implement into PvP, it feels a lot better to play. It's just the gameplay itself is still the same. The matchmaking kind of balances out more. So solos don't really match solos, or don't really match like stacks that much, or they try not to, unless you're in Supremacy and you do connection-based matchmaking. That's not fun. You know, you're trying to do regular Supremacy because you want to like fight the other classes, because you want to play regular Supremacy. Because I personally love Supremacy. I think it's a great game mode. I don't think there's anything about the game mode that needs to change. But the matchmaking in that aspect needs to change. Connection based should always be like a part of the matchmaking, but it shouldn't be the sole factor. Because you still have to deal with other people's connections. And what sucks is when you're in connection based matchmaking, you get a 6 stack, and there's that one guy that has a shit connection. So it drops everyone else's down. That's what happens. In terms of Destiny's storyline, because now we'll talk about storyline because we'll stop talking about PvP because we talked about PvP for about 20 minutes now. We talked about weapons and we talked about PvP. The storyline of Destiny, I see what they're trying to like build up for, because now we're about to go back to Titan and there's like semblance of Taken and there's a giant freaking sea creature down there. And our guardians look like they are about ready to perform the Little Mermaid at a freaking play. But honestly, I don't get the point of the story. Because it never like the only time we ever get chunks of like what ties to the main storyline are like seasons just before expansions. Like, have you ever really noticed that? Like, let's go back to Season of the Rivals before we got Beyond Light. We started to see stuff more with the darkness. You know? We did a whole thing where we're learning that the darkness is calling out to us. We need to learn about it. And then, you know, we got to use the darkness ability for the first time in Stasis. But the story, like, side story that happened during that season was like, why is this? And then the one after that was, why is this? Because what we had, the season of the Chosen. I'm sorry, it was a terrible season. It added nothing besides, oh great, now we have a Cabal teammate. That's cool. And it took you 3 expansions for us to finally have Cabal in our area, and then we got a Fallen teammates, but they get kind of added kind of early on. The only thing about that season was the whole thing with the Vex and the Taken. If I remember correctly, that didn't add much to the storyline. Lakshmi eventually, you know, got unplugged. And then what was the season after that? I forget what was after Season of the Splicer. Oh, Season of the Lost. Now we have a Woken that we're working with. And we spent months in that season. Months. Because the delayed Witch Queen to February so they could work on it more, which I was happy they did. Because that in and of itself was a fun expansion. And the storyline that got thrown with it, though, was kind of like, why are you doing this? I don't get this. We have to learn more about the Hive and what the goals are. Why do they have the light? Then we did. in the actual storyline, not this little mini one. It was just kind of like, well, we're trying to learn more, but eventually we'll just be told it anyways. Let's see. After that, we had Season of the Haunted, where we got the new changes to Solar. We learned about the Callus and his story, and kind of why he's going to be working with the Witness. And then we got like a darkness ability that we didn't understand yet. Yeah, we did. And then, oh look, now you get to be pirates. And then after we were pirates, now we're somehow thrown into working with Anna Bray. Oh look, Mars is back. More of it now. Now you can go back to the old area where you used to run escalation protocols. Or where, wasn't there like a strike you had to do? There. Or no, I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, that's when you went the other way. Yeah. Because there were like two strikes. There was the one where you had to like, yeah, because there was the one with fighting Zol from the final mission of Warmind, which, well, don't even worry about that. And then there's fighting Nokris. Fighting Nokris was more fun than fighting Zol, in my opinion. After we were pirates, we had to deal with Clovis Spray and what's going on with him. He's still a person. Yeah, so I'll leave it at that. And then we had this season. Now, the storyline of this season was kind of, it was a mixed bag of this season, because we had everything that was going on in Lightfall, and we lost the wrong Cloud Strider. Yeah, I say the wrong Cloud Strider, because I feel like if we had Rohan, things probably would have went a little more smoothly. But no, instead we were stuck with Nimbus. And that's not me hating Nimbus as a character. I wish he, after losing Rohan, he felt a little like he was trying to take the job more seriously, because now, until they make a new Cloud Strider, it's only him. So take your job a little more seriously. Oh, but the Guardians are here, so it's fine. They'll do all the work. Why does that sound familiar? Oh, the Guardian's here. Let him do it. This is what Selden was talking about. The fact that we always rely on the frickin' Guardian to do our fucking bullshit. Then Season of Defiance. You know, we're thinking we're finally going to see, like, Uldren, Crow, come in and put in some work. Because now his sister's involved, and the girl he has the hots for, she's involved. Like, it's going to be great. Mithrax is trying to help because he's trying to help save, because he knows the work that we did, and he's trying to deal with his former actions. Like, we're thinking this is going to be great. And then we get the mission where, well, A man that goes up in smoke. Yeah, I know I'm terrible, but you love me anyways. Um, and that felt like, oh my god, like they just killed off another good character. This should be interesting. Oh look, we do this one little mission and then we fuck off. Great mission. Bye bye. Go play 50 games of whatever to get this, and then try to farm for frickin' something. Oh wait, let's revert farming. It's become too easy for you to do this. Let's just change it. This exotic has gotten too good. Nerf it. I like how everyone, like, and this is going to go kind of back to the point of PvP for a little bit, but Ophidian aspects being nerfed by removing the melee range. Warlocks, remember, we're not supposed to be able to punch everything. We leave that for the crayons. Okay? Let them have the coloring books. Try to keep your books out of their coloring books. But remember, Titans don't know the difference between a coloring book and regular text that we have to read. So you have to help them. Because when they see letters, they think it's the fill in the blank stuff with a crayon. Okay, just be patient with them. We're not supposed to punch everything. Ophidians are a great neutral game exotic. Great neutral game. Because it increases the reload speed, it increases this, it increases that. But that's what they should do. For those that don't know exactly what Ophidians do, you clearly don't play Warlock, but this is what Ophidians do. Weapons ready and reload very quickly. Melee range is going to be gone, and this provides a small benefit to the airborne effectiveness stat of all weapons. So we get airborne effectiveness, we get reload and handling. We don't get the 2-meter lunge anymore. But remember, Warlocks, we have ranged melee. Okay, ranged melee. You know what that means? Don't be so damn close. Arc, we have 2 of them. Only one of them is an actual lunge. But that's like a mini lunge where you just go zzz. It's like getting a taser and just going zzz. Actually more like a bug zapper. Zzz, zzz, zzz. Maybe that's what... Never mind. Not making that joke. Alright, we made 2 of them. And both have gone down the flames. Burned the flames. Damn, that didn't work out the way I thought it would. But yeah, neutral game exotics are good. If you have to add, like, they have to have a certain thing for them to work, that's no problem. Like, Stompies. They're removing the airborne effectiveness nerf, but they're making it so the other factor of it is only active when you have your dodge. Make it work because it has to have something? Yeah. Melee range lunge? You can't have it unless you do something. No, just get rid of it. Actually, just don't even worry about that. Just get rid of it. I feel like the lunge has killed me more than anything else because I've wanted to use like the powered melee hit, and it's like, no, you're just gonna slap them. But just change your key bindings. I'm on a controller. I'm not doing that shit. Alright? No. Titans, I can't think of too many neutral game exotics that you guys have. To be fair, I can't think of too many neutral exotics. Besides like Actium Warrig. Or no, Peacekeepers. I mean that's one. Ew. Yeah, I can't think of too many. Offhand. I mean, Warlocks, we got Traverse Steps, and we have Ophidians. Hunters have, well, Stompies, Frosties. Um, Mask of Barkus is only a neutral game exotic if you're on stasis. I guess Peregrine Greaves or Antius Wards are technically a neutral game because they require you to do something to activate it. They kind of provide a moderate benefit when you do certain things. Um, Warlocks, we technically have another neutral game exotic that no one uses until the start of this season. Fucking Necrotic Grips. Yeah, that thing. The thing I like using for almost all my builds. Hadouken? It's a poison ball now. Solar? Well, you're burning and you're poisoned. Arc? You're jilted and poisoned. Strand? Hey, you're separate and poisoned. Stasis? You're cold and poisoned. I wish Strand... Not Strand. I wish... Stasis Warlock... The abilities... are cool. The super... sucks. I wish the super... You took the staff and you just chucked the fucker and you made a giant cold snap grenade. With like a giant glacial thing in the middle. So if you hit someone with it, they were frozen and everyone else was slowed. Because guess what? What does the Titan one do? Makes a bunch of freaking stasis crystals. Hunters, what does it do? It freezes you and then there's a tornado that follows you the hell around. Silk Strike, I don't see too many of them. If I do see them, it's the ones that do the pull in and then they dive down and then they spin around like a ballerina. Or they tell you, get over here as they impale you with Blade Fury. You know where I see you guys the most? You're trying to punch the boss. I will say this though. With all the stuff that's going on, Bungie is at the very least trying to add more interesting content, more fun, more breath into the game. They're trying to do things, and I greatly appreciate that. I really think that as much as all these criticisms have been, we've also gotten things that have been very good. And some of those things that were bad are technically good. The matchmaking has changed. PvE content has become harder, but for a reason. You've gotten some really interesting exotics that just no one frickin' uses. Like, to be fair, Osmancies are still the best stasis exotic. You're not changing my mind. Necrotic Grips are the best all-around exotic, besides Ophidians. Solar has their exotics. Void has their exotics. If you don't want to be a Necrotic Grip fan, I guess you're using Nezarec Sin because Secants, let me be fair, you have to build a whole thing around them. Whereas with Nezarec Sin, all you gotta do is, Void Weapon go burr. And there you frickin' go. Arc. Stormdancer's Brace. Crown of Tempests. Getaway Artist. Necrotic Grips. If you want to use Geos, you can. But to be fair, I think if they just would have reverted to the 50% on Super, that would have been fine. But taking away the ability to run and get it, you could have done that and have the perk happen if you were amplified. Well, then they're going fast and then they're getting their super. Okay, so you want someone to go fast, get amplified, and then, oh, well, they can do this thing and it increases the chaining because because with warlocks we have to slide, use the ball, and half the times we either get you or we die. Oh, but getting your super back is a problem. You have to be amplified though. It wouldn't happen until you were at a certain threshold on your super, and it would disappear the minute you stopped being amplified. You'd still get the speed booster, but you wouldn't have the thing. And it won't be that much. It'd be like picking up like a mini orb of power that only gives you like that much. That's still a lot. Well, do you know what some people can do when they get their super? It's freaking like that much. Just me. You see how some people have made builds where they can get their super back like crazy. If only thing that a warrior has to do is be amplified to get that boost, and it be a little bit, it ends the minute the amplification goes away, that's fine. Solar? You're stuck on well. Void? Well, you're ready for a Nova Bomb. If they add something new to Void that makes Void a little bit more interesting, makes using Nova Warp cool, that'd be great. That'd be cool. You know? Because I don't think Apostle's Verse does it. That I've seen. I don't know. I haven't seen jail-rated content in a while. I might have to start looking at that more. But yeah, no, like, that's kind of mainly what I wanted to talk about. Oh wait, there's one last thing. And I know you guys are gonna love this. As much as you have given love to the PvE community, as much as you've given love to the PvP community, as much as you've given love to the New Light community that's coming to your game, there's a community that you need to just give back something. Give us back the split of the Gambit game modes. Let Prime be our trials and have there be regular Gambit. Oh, the weekends come. I can play Gambit Prime and I have to get 100 motes. I can get frickin' some kind of like outlawed weapon. And have it be something where it's frickin' a weapon that we used to get. Everyone's talking about, oh, we're getting spare rations back and it's going to be great. Why? We're adding new glaives, we're adding snipers, we're bringing back Redrick's broadsword. Yeah, but we want spare rations back. So many people are like, oh my god, spare rations is coming back, it's going to be great. Yeah, it's going to be the same thing we had back in frickin' the previous season. It's going to be spare rations, Mindbender's Ambition, or a fucking found verdict, or it's going to be some other amalgamation of BS. Well, you just don't like it because you didn't like hand cannons. You're right, I don't like hand cannons. There's a reason I don't like hand cannons. I think hand cannons in PvP are some of the most annoying guns ever. In PvE, they're okay. Because there are other good guns that thrive better in that. Scouts are good in PvE. Autos are okay in PvE. Snipers are good in PvP. Shotguns are good. Fusions, linears, whatever. They're good. But in frickin' PvP, it's always the same. Auto rifles were good. Well, then they get nerfed. Then hand cannons come back. Well, then we made this gun type good. Well, no, not hand cannons have to be better again. Well, then this. It just stacks so much. Everyone's like, oh well, I don't like the submachine gun because you just want to use a hand cannon. When pulses are good, when autos are good, when scouts are good, when sidearms are good, whenever any other like kinetic has been good, the hand cannon users are always like, but me, when you've been but me for a while. I hate to say it like that, but it's kind of the God's honest truth. What do we see every season? Well, here's some weapon changes. Oh, well, these guns are good. But then a little bit through, about midway through the season, when we've reached that point where we are kind of into the storyline, the hand cannons just go. They start complaining that, oh, this gun is this, and this is this, and this is this. Okay, and? What's your point? What's the point? How many times have we seen hand cannons? Well, this hand cannon has to be good. So then this one comes in, 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 then this one comes in. And then in trials, oh, you see, oh, well, it's a hand cannon, it's a hand cannon, it's a hand cannon, it's a hand cannon. Every new season, here comes a new hand cannon. Here comes a couple autos, maybe a pulse rifle, maybe we'll give you a sidearm. Oh, but it's tied to something else. But here's a hand cannon. And some of the best hand cannons you give in the game come from some of the easiest shit. Oh, I got round robin. Where do you get that from? Well, PvE. Bros, you gotta do competitive. When Injun's Hammer was around, we got from doing trials. Exalted Truth, oh, you got from doing trials. Oh, Palindrome, well, you got from doing fucking GMs. Where's a good sidearm? Well, we gave back Drain a couple months later. Oh, well, we gave back the Buzzard. How about this? Give me back Last Hope. We're going back to Titan. Give me back the Last Hope. Do it. Don't change any of its stat values. Give me some new perks. You give me a Zen Moment Headseeker on a Last Hope with a Stability Masterwork, Arrowhead Break, and Flared Magwell. You damn Skippy. I'm not switching to any other frickin' thing. Unless I'm using the Buzzard. Because I want to use that ARC Sniper Rifle. Because that's the thing. You said there's going to be an ARC Sniper Rifle. When was the last when was the last Kinetic Sniper you added? That was worth a damn. Defiance of Yasmin? That was what, like... Witch Screen? Battle of the Disciple came out, then King's Fall came back, and... Oh, look, now we have frickin' Ron. Before that was what, Succession? Which I still don't have. Because Bungie hates me. Sorry, Coyote. Here's another heritage. Use that. Use a shotgun, please. We've seen what you do with snipers. We don't want it. Do you know what would be a funny gun for them to bring back? And have it be like a comp gun? Imagine if they bring back something like the Revoker. With its exact stats, just with different mods. Arrowhead Break, Accurized Rounds, Snapshot, and frickin', I don't know, Encore. Well, why would that need Encore? Be funny though. You don't even have to bring back Reversal of Fortune. I don't care about Reversal of Fortune. That was just a better mulligan. But this video is kind of going on for a little bit too long. It's almost 15 minutes long, so I don't know how much of you guys are going to watch this. But yeah, that's kind of my points about the end of this first year, end of this first month of Lightfall, and a recap of everything else we've had. The PvP has gotten better, but it's not where it needs to be. PvE has gotten really good. I think it's in a good spot. You just need to fix the bugs you have in things. The weapons kind of need a little bit more tuning. The abilities are, everyone's going to abuse abilities. It's just going to happen. You can tune it. It's still going to get abused in some way. There's going to be a new exploit. Someone's going to find something new. You can use this and this and this. This and this and this. Gambit, I've said my piece. I have a whole video for that, okay? Go watch that. State of Gambit. Do something with it, please. It's sitting there, not doing much of anything. It's there as a pinnacle and a challenge, and then people... So yeah. That's my points. If you're going to bring back spare rations, bring back bygones. If you're going to bring back frickin'... If you bring back Redrick's broadsword, I better see Revoker come back. Or if you bring back frickin' something like Luna's Howl or frickin' Not Forgotten, you better bring back frickin' goddamn Revoker. I'm just saying. Okay? Okay? That's about it. So Red Faction, have a good one. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button. And hit the red button if you haven't already joined the Red Faction of the Order. I might be live a little bit tomorrow. I do have to work. I'm sorry. I apologize. I can't do a full stream. So yeah, that's basically it. Hope you guys have a good one. See you later.